Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel if you are new. Hello, my name is V. I post nail tutorials every Thursday and Sunday at 8:15 a.m. Central Time. I'm so excited to be back on camera. You guys have no idea. For today's video, I'm going to be doing a watch me work on my lovely client. I'm sure you guys already recognize her hands from previous videos on my channel. This is going to be a super informative video on exactly how I do backfills when working with really long nails. So make sure you guys are paying attention throughout the entire video. That being said, I know I'm a little early, but I wanted to get on here really quick and let you guys know that for the month of December, I'm going to be doing tons and tons and tons and tons of giveaways. The winners will be chosen out of the comment section, so make sure you guys are staying active on my channel and commenting, whether it's constructive criticism or just support all around. Make sure you guys are commenting on my videos. I'm gonna be keeping an eye out, and the likelihood of you winning if you are super active is gonna be a lot higher. But please do not spam my videos. That is very important. Do not spam with emojis. Make sure you guys are actually commenting. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. Let's get right into it. Getting right into today's video, I am going to be removing my client's current design. Along with that, I'm going to be backfilling her nails. If you're not familiar with what that is, essentially I'm going to be removing bulk product and thinning out that acrylic so I can go in with another color over top and a different design. So for this process, I am using my Kiara Sky Efile. I have her at about 9 to 10,000 RPMs. Along with that, I'm using their 5-in-1 bit in the color Purple Medium Grit. It is my all-time favorite, so make sure you guys check out their bits. They have tons of different colors to choose from as well. Because I am going to be debulking that product, I want to add a little bit more pressure on my hand piece than I typically do. This is just going to help speed up the process, but also you want to make sure that you are moving around the nail constantly to avoid heat spikes. Because you are adding a little bit more pressure, that is going to be a little more prone to heating up, and you definitely want to avoid that. I did want to quickly mention that the design my client currently has on her nails were not done by me. My coworker was nice enough to get her in while I was gone on maternity leave. So huge shout out to her. I'm going to be leaving her Instagram linked so you guys can check out her amazing work. I also did want to mention that my hair is a different color, if you guys noticed from my intro. So any of the dinginess you see on my nails is caused from that color transfer. So just disregard that on my nails. But again, we're going to be quickly removing that design and debulking the acrylic. Try to move around the nail to avoid heat spikes, and always remember to be careful. So I wanted to explain my backfill process on this length of the nail because I know a lot of you guys already know and understand the process of a backfill. However, I do it a little bit different when working with long nails. Now, my client specifically likes her nails extremely long. As you can see, they are stiletto, and we do them a lot thicker than I typically do on other clients. She specifically requests the extra thickness just in case she's not careful with them, she bangs them, or whatever the case is, they will not break, which is definitely necessary with this length of nail. That being said, when doing a backfill, you are wanting to really file down that product to a very, very thin layer. However, because her nails are extremely long and thick, that would take 5 hours if I actually did it all the way through. And in order to save time, what I like to do is leave a good amount of that pink underneath, or whatever color she has, and then add the extra thickness that we want with the new color. So you're gonna see me leave a lot of that thickness, and that is essentially because we're gonna make them super thick anyways. So I will be able to layer on the new color and cover it nicely, also adding that extra thickness that we want. So I hope that makes sense. I'll be sharing exactly how I do it when I'm doing it, so you guys will be able to really understand my process for a long backfill.
All I see is blessings, got no time for stressing. Don't believe in failures in my life, it's only lessons. They just making room for what I'm on now. I don't got a clue, but I know the one who does know how. Oh wow, it's like I'm learning the game with the maker I already know now. Destiny has my name, know it's coming, it'll never go. I know that we all gonna be alright. We gon' make it through if it takes us all night. No matter what the odds may bring our way, I can see the blessings coming our way. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Blessings on blessings, yeah. I can see the blessings coming our way. Our way, our way. Blessings on blessings, yeah. I can see the blessings coming our way.
I can't say that life's been perfect or complain, cause life's been worth it. And all because of who he is working, only working out for my God. And no more living in that fear, no more tears and no. Oh, he's working me and molding me, who he wants me to be.
I know that we all gonna be alright. We gon' make it through if it takes us all night. No matter what the odds may bring.
Now I'm taking my Tammy Taylor peel and stick file and going in on the sides. This is going to help sharpen up that shape, but also remove any of the nail art left behind on the sides of the nails. So as you can see, there's a little bit of pink left from the nail art, and I'm just going to quickly file that off while reshaping the nail at the same time.
I can see the blessings, I can feel your presence.
Now during this process, I do quickly take my hand file and just go over top of the surface, especially on the tip of the nail, to try to really thin it out. If you are going to see any of the color, it's going to be on the sides. So you want to make sure you thin it out as best as possible so that when you go in with your new color, it covers it fully. And then when you finish file, you don't file off the layer of new acrylic that you just laid. So you basically are making it super thin in that area.
I'm the goalie, never lonely, got that hope in he who holy, holy, holy. Keep that rugged cross all on me, need that spirit to control me. Seek that word to come and mold me, yeah. It's like I can feel the blessings coming my way. Yeah. It's like I can feel the blessings coming my way. I know that we all gonna be alright. We gon' make it through if it takes us all night. No matter what the odds may bring our way, I can see the blessings coming our way. Yeah. Blessings on blessings, yeah. I can see the blessings coming our way. Our way, our way. Blessings on blessings, yeah. I can see the blessings coming our way. Yeah.
It's too late now to turn around and back again. I made my bed and now I lay my head in it. And I'm sorry I'm not perfect, but I knew that I wouldn't be. I guess it's for the best, you know the worst in me. I'm no good at being good, but I never said I was. And I feel misunderstood, cause I'm trying hard to love. I'm sorry, my actions, they haunt me, and I'll never live it down. I'm no good at being good, but I never said I was. You call my bluff, I won't pick up, I let it ring. Record your voice so I can listen back again. And I'm sorry I'm not perfect, but I knew that I wouldn't be. I guess it's for the best, you know the worst in me. I'm no good at being good, but I never second plans so we can start again. Won't turn down a second chance. I'm too selfish for that. I let you fall again. Now that you know that I'm no good at being good, but I never said I was.
Now we're going to be prepping the natural nail. I am using my Efile at a speed of about 4,000 RPMs now. You want to make sure you do lower that speed so you do not create damage on the natural nail. If you go any higher, I do feel like it's going to be more prone to damage. For this step, I am using my mandrel bit from Profiles Backstage. Along with that, I'm using their purple sanding bands in the medium grit. They do have fine and coarse grit, of course, but I feel like these are very fine. So even though if I move it up to the coarse grit, it's still safe to use on the natural nail as long as you're using very light pressure at a low speed. Once I'm done prepping the natural nail, I'm going in and prepping that cuticle. For that, I'm using this cuticle prep bit from Profiles Backstage. I still have my Efile speed at 4,000 RPMs, and I'm just quickly going around that cuticle, trying to remove any dead skin that I may have missed with my mandrel bit. I'm taking my cuticle ball bit, this is my all-time favorite, and I'm going in very quickly around that cuticle, trying to remove and buff off that dead cuticle without having to cut or nip anything off. I have now moved my Efile speed up to 5,000 RPMs. If you have a little bit of stubborn cuticle that's really dry and hard to get rid of, just go up little by little until the speed is right. If you go up a little bit higher, it will help buff it off even better. So make sure you are kind of trying out that speed for yourself. taking a lint-free wipe from Kiara Sky, I'm going to take that wipe and add a little bit of Young Nail Swipe to it and just thoroughly clean off the dust from the natural nail. This is also going to dehydrate the nail, which is important for your acrylic application. Once I'm done dehydrating that nail, I'm taking Triple X Bond from Not Polish. This is their primer, and I'm going to really scrub that in on the natural nail. If you're having issues with lifting or you want to really avoid it and you're doing your prep as thorough as possible, you want to make sure you add a second coat of that primer, and that should do the trick. So I'm just really scrubbing that in around that natural nail area. Now for my acrylic application, I am using the acrylic monomer from Not Polish. Along with that, I'm using their acrylic brush in a size 12, and of course they have different sizes available if you're not interested in that size. It has just quickly become my favorite size. Now for our Milky White, I am using Milky White from Not Polish, and it is like the perfect Milky White in my opinion. So if you're looking for one, definitely recommend that one. I'm going to be sharing with you guys a little bit of how I make sure that the white is really opaque and we fully cover that pink. So when you're working with acrylic and it's nice and wet, as you can see, I'm trying to layer it on as best as possible. But because the acrylic is still wet, I have to continue to really mold it out. And if I add a little bit more where I still see pink, I'm still going to have to be making sure that the other powder that I already laid is still nice and perfect. So essentially you're overworking for no reason. So what I like to do is add a bead, blend it out, and then build my way up into the cuticle. And this is essentially going to be my acrylic base. Once I'm done laying that base, I will wait until I finish all of the nails, and by the time I'm done with all of the nails, they're going to be nice and dry. So once they are dry, I go back in and add the extra opaqueness that I need and the extra thickness that I need. So you're going to see me basically doing that throughout this process. So what I like to do with this length of the nail is definitely work with multiple beads. I'm not sticking to one. It's going to help really layer up that opaqueness, which is definitely what we want. So I'm starting off with a medium bead at the tip and then gently blending it upwards and then blending it down towards the tip. And you want to make sure you are really cleaning up those sides to make your life a little bit more easier. And then as you can see, I'm going to continue working my way up into the cuticle area and just really blending that out. And then you can also really tell during this process of basically what I was saying, how the acrylic is still wet, so you have to continue to mold it out until it's dry. And then again, working my way up into the cuticle area, last bead, really carefully pushing that up into the cuticle and then blending it down. The trick to doing all of this is holding the finger in a downward position and trying to hold the finger very, very still. Now that I'm done with my acrylic base, we're going back in and adding that extra opaqueness that we need and the extra thickness. So typically with long nails, I like to make sure that I encapsulate. That clear will add a little bit more thickness to the nail, which helps keep the strength for the length that we need. Now, instead of encapsulating these nails, I am using the white technically to add the opaqueness and the thickness because it's going to be a lot more vibrant and there's going to be less pink that shows through. If I would have left my acrylic base that I laid and then went in with clear, you're still going to be able to see the sheerness. Yes, we're going to have the extra thickness, but we're not going to have the opaqueness that we need. I feel like I am kind of struggling to explain it, but as you see the process being done, you can really tell of what I'm basically talking about. So I really hope that I'm not confusing you guys. So we're going in and adding that extra acrylic throughout the entire set of nails and really focusing on the areas that you feel still have a little bit of color showing through. Once we are done with our acrylic application, now I'm going in with my Efile and we're going to be finish filing these nails. I like to start at the cuticle area, very gently blending that to the natural nail. For this process, I'm still using my Kiara Sky Efile. I have my speed of 9 to 10,000 RPMs and I have now switched to my 5-in-1 bit from Kiara Sky. This one is the rose gold one, also medium grit, but this is an older bit that I have. And I like to use it for finish filing as it's a little bit more worn down, which is going to be a little bit more gentle on the surface of the nail. I'm not trying to debulk the product, so I don't need it to be super coarse. I just need it to be nice enough to smooth that surface out. Now I'm taking my Tammy Taylor peel and stick file once again, and we're going to be sharpening up those nails again, of course. She likes them super, super sharp, and I feel like a stiletto nail needs to be extremely sharp. So I like to make sure that throughout the whole process, I am really sharpening up those nails. I'm just going in from the left to the right, right to the left. You want to make sure you're not focusing on one side more than the other, so you do not overfile one side or the other. Now we are going to be missing a little bit of footage. I unfortunately did not charge my phone, so it died in between. So I did go ahead and buff and clean the surface of the nail. Now we're going in with our nail art. She wanted an evil eye design, but make it droopy. So we're starting off with this beautiful color. It is a very deep blue. It is the blue color from Profiles Backstage from their frosting gel paints. They also have their neon colors, so this one is from their original line. For this process, I am also using my nail art brush from Makartt. This one is from Amazon. You can find them linked in my Amazon storefront, but I'm using the pink one. And I'm just going to go ahead and start with the first layer of the eye. Like I mentioned, they're going to be droopy, so I'm going to be creating kind of distorted effect on different nails. Now this is definitely one of those designs that you can start from the middle out, or like I did from the out to the inside of the nail. It's just personal preference. I honestly kind of weighed my options and I figured this would be a little bit easier in my case, but always make sure you are trying different methods for yourself to see what works for you. So after we're done with the blue, you want to absolutely make sure that you are curing it in the light. I went ahead and popped it in there for a minute while I was working on the opposite hand. And then once we got done with the opposite hand, we switch hands in the light and I start working on this one once again. So now I'm taking the white gel paint. This one is from Poochie's Nails. I unfortunately ran out of my frosting gel paint, but this one is just as good. But I like to save this one for any pigments that I use. So reason why I have a variety of different whites. Again, make sure you are curing it in the light before you go in with your other color. Now for this very light blue, I took the neon blue color from the frosting gel paints and I mixed in some of that white to make it a little bit more light. And then we're going to be doing the exact same thing, just layering it underneath the white to create that eyeball kind of effect. And I'm still using the same brush set. I'm kind of just using the different ones to make my life a little bit easier and make the process a lot quicker without having to clean out my brush. I'm just using multiple ones for the different colors that I'm using. Again, once you're done with that layer of color, make sure you pop that in the light for a full minute. These are extremely pigmented, so you want to make sure you are fully curing it so that it doesn't smear all over the place and peel off. And lastly, we're going in with a black gel paint from the frosting gel paints and just creating that center. Essentially, whatever you have left without paint is what you're gonna infill with the black. Now, of course, like I always do, I asked matte or shiny, and she actually mentioned that she really liked the nail art to be shiny. So we're going in with matte at first. This is from Not Polish, and I'm adding a thin layer of that over the entire surface of the nail along with the nail art. We're going to be placing that in the light for a full 2 minutes just to be safe. If you prefer to do 1 minute, that is extremely fine as well. Just make sure that it is fully cured at the end. And then once we're done curing it, we're going in with our shiny top coat. This is just an easier process. If I would have taken the matte and gone around all of the eyeballs, it probably would have taken forever. So now I'm taking my 3D nail art brush with the Glossy top coat, and I'm going to be going over top very gently and carefully on the nail art, trying to avoid any of the white.
This is for my day ones. Don't forget the ones I made ya. Deep side sweating out flavor. This is for my day ones, day ones.
Once everything is fully cured, I'm taking my cuticle oil and really lathering that on around her cuticles, and then taking my fingertips and just gently massaging that into her fingers and kind of spreading it out onto her knuckles as well. This is my favorite cuticle oil, so if you guys are looking for one that smells really good and melts right into the skin, this is going to be it. But that basically concludes today's video. Let me know what you guys think down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys learned a ton, and I will see you guys next time.